This meeting is being recorded.
You're listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. I'm Mel Tillar, and I'm thrilled to be your host today, and I'm thrilled to have as my guest today, Miss Bridgett Davis, all the way from Brooklyn, New York, all the way on the East Coast in Bed-Stuy. Bridgett, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Listen, this is going to be fun. Bridgett is an author. We are starting a series where we're going to be talking to authors. We're going to be talking about some of the great books that have been written. And first up to bat is Miss Bridgett Davis. And she's going to talk about the world according to Fannie Davis. So Fannie Davis was Bridgett's mom, and anybody who writes a book about their mama is all right in my book. Tell us a little bit about Fannie Davis.
Well, I must tell you, I have always felt she was worth writing a book about, right?
Oh, I love that.
Yes. And so finally I decided this is the time to do it. I want the world to know about my mom and how she saw the world. So Fannie Davis was a woman born in the late 1920s.
So let me say this. Start us off by telling us your mom's philosophy on life and death.
My mom always believed that it took guts to live. She used to say, dying is easy. When you think about it, it's living that takes guts.
Living that takes guts. Dying is easy. Oh, exactly. All right, go ahead.
I'm just quickly saying, think about this woman born as a Negro woman, moving through the world during the time that she did. She was part of that great migration with my dad and my older siblings, and they moved to Detroit, Michigan from Nashville. And essentially, my mother had to figure out how to make a way out of no way.
Okay.
Because they ended in Detroit and it was rough.
Yeah. So how did she do that? How did she make a way out of no way?
Well, that is really the heart of the story.
Okay.
My mom noticed that all of her neighbors were placing bets for the numbers. They were gambling their coins on the numbers. As you may or may not know, most Black people do. The numbers was this wide-ranging, sprawling underground economy that took place in all these Black communities. It was essentially just like the lottery.
Yes.
Before the lottery became legal.
Okay. So your mom had a gambling establishment, a business.
Yes.
That was somewhat illegal.
I'll tell you how she put it.
Okay.
My mom would say this. She would say the numbers is a legitimate business. It just happens to be illegal.
Oh, I love your mom. Tell us more about Fannie.
Yeah. So Fannie, young mom, got these kids to take care of. My dad couldn't keep a steady job in the auto plants. She was like, I see my neighbors placing these bets with folks, basically bookies. I could be a bookie. They could turn their numbers into me. Oh. And that is literally how it started. And let me tell you, people played for 10 cents, 25 cents. If someone played for $1, that was a lot.
Yes, money was different back then. Money was different.
It was different. And my mom spent the time to build her business up from a very humble origin, so much so that across the years, she was able to really give her children, her family, all of us, a middle-class life through the numbers.
That is a great story. So she was not harassed by the police.
Well, not really. Back in the day, people would get arrested for this so-called illegal gambling, but it was a kind of petty crime, you know.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
that my mother ever really got caught, but my dad would tell stories about how sometimes he'd get stopped, believe it or not, for a traffic violation.
Yes. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was a reason to check the car and everything. If they had these betting slips on them, they might, he would say, yeah, I might have to go and spend the night in jail, pay my money and get out. They
Yes.
wanted the big people at that point. You know, they wanted the big numbers men and the heads of the syndicates who were really running things. So in a way, um, it was kind of understood that this was happening
Yes.
on the for the lower level runners and bookies. They weren't the ones that were really um, the target of law enforcement.
Okay. So she was smart enough to not get so big that she bothered law enforcement.
That is brilliant. Yes. Now, what I just described to you is really the point at which she was doing it on a very modest level. Now, she did grow her business.
Ah.
Oh, yes, she grew
Okay.
her.
How
And
big did she
eventually,
get?
she got big enough where I would say, you know, you think about you're not the CEO of the company, but you got a good middle management position.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. She was doing well enough where she was kind of like an independent contractor. She was her own boss. People were working at levels above her, but
Yes.
she had her own small business that she was managing well enough so that several bookies began to turn in their business to her.
Oh.
And then she
Okay.
became a banker. A banker is another level.
Ah.
A
Okay.
banker means you're banking the numbers. That means if someone hits, you pay them out of your bank,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
You,
Yes.
your books, your clients are bookies who have their own small customers. And when their customers hit and they come to you, you provide the payout. So it also, on the flip side, means that your proceeds increase
Oh.
for those times when nobody hits, you know.
I love that. She sounds like a really, really interesting lady. And so she was able to make this or create this middle class life for
Yes,
her family. She
yes.
was able to send you to college.
Very importantly, she was able to send me to a private college,
Yes.
Spelman College in Atlanta, which was twice the tuition of in-state schools like University of Michigan at the time, right?
Yes.
But my
Yes.
mother made that choice, sent me to college, and ensured that I graduated with no debt.
So let's
So
talk a
the
little bit.
number paid for my college education.
Absolutely. And you went to the great University of Spelman.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes, I
Talk to us a little bit. Talk to us a little bit about Spelman and the impact that this particular HBCU has had on our culture.
Oh, I could go on and on about Spelman,
Yeah.
founded in 1881,
Yes.
right? And still doing what it set out to do, which was to educate young Black women and make them leaders. We have incredible alums that have come out of the college and gone on to do great things, not least of which is Stacey Abrams. She was
Yes.
shaped and formed by her experience there, and that's not unusual. You are made to believe you can achieve whatever you want when you're a Spelmanite. As we say, our Spelman sisters are everywhere. We are a true force. We're a network. My husband has another term for it. He says, oh my God, the Spelman Mafia.
And one of the Spelman Mafia happens to be Bridgett Davis, who wrote this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book about her mom, The World According to Fannie Davis. How can our listeners get a hold of this great book?
Well, the beauty of this is that the book is available everywhere. If you love independent bookstores, you can definitely go into one. And if you can't find my book, you can order it. If you choose Amazon, no judgment, you can get it there too. If you like to listen to books on audio tape, then you can go to Audible or another place called Libro.fm. They also do audios because I recorded the audiobook. So it is available in that format. It's even available as an ebook.
Oh, fantastic. Talk
Yeah.
to us
So
about,
however you want to read it or listen to it.
oh, I love that. Talk to us about when the book was published.
The book came out initially in 2019 as a
Mhm.
hardcover. And then a year later, my publisher put the book out in paperback. And so I have been really fortunate to experience incredible reception to the book. I'm just ever amazed that this thing that I kept secret my whole life, that my mom was a numbers runner, turns out to be the thing that people admire about her so much. I mean, one young woman said to me, I'm always asking myself, what would Fannie do?
I love that. And you were traveling around the country. I understand that you were recently here in Las Vegas.
Oh, I was invited to do a talk at the Mob Museum,
At the
which
mob, you
I'm
say.
sure you can imagine seems like a perfect place.
To celebrate Bob, yeah.
Yes, and it was fantastic. It was really a highlight for me. It was such a beautiful experience to give a talk in a courtroom of all places, right there at the museum. It's fabulous. I will say, I think that the Mom Museum needs to have a whole separate exhibit about the numbers.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes,
right?
I agree with that. You're
Yeah.
listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce. We're speaking with Bridgett Davis, and she has written this fantastic book called The World According to Fannie Davis. And Fannie Davis just happens to be her mama. So, Bridgett, for those who would like to get in touch with you, who would like to keep up with you, you're doing a number of things. You're a filmmaker, you're a writer.
Yes.
Our fans would love to keep up with you. Tell us, how do they do that? What's your contact information?
I love hearing from readers and people who are interested in talking about the numbers, my mom, whatever. Just go to BridgettDavis.com. So that's my website. You can reach me there. You can get updates on what's happening with the book. And as you may or may not know, the film adaptation of the book is in process of getting made. So I'm very excited that you'll get to see Fannie Davis on the big screen at some point.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fantastic. That's that.
yeah.
Spell Bridgett, please, so that
Oh,
we.
it's BridgettDavis.com.
So, when can we expect the movie to come out?
It's a great question. I've been asking myself the same thing, but I'm told that Hollywood has its own time frame.
Yes, it
Uh,
does.
but what's exciting is the director is working on the script as we speak, and so I am assured that it will be relatively soon. So
Oh, that is fantastic. You're going to have to come back when the movie comes out, and we're going to have to talk about this. We'll have to talk about who's going to play your mom.
yes,
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about who's going to be playing your father. We'll have to talk about who's going to be playing you.
I can't even get my head around that one.
This is fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. Is there any word you'd like to leave with our listeners?
I would want to tell you what my mom always said. No matter what you do in life, do it with integrity. No matter what.
I love that. You've been listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. We've been speaking with Miss Bridgett Davis. She is a fabulous, fabulous author. Her book is The World According to Fannie Davis, a book about her mama. You have to go and get that book, and it's also going to be on the big screen. So keep an eye out for that. And we will too, and let you know when it hits the big screen. And that's Keeping It 100.